I wanted to start with some work that the Campus Compact has done over the last several months of really saying, what are we all about at the Compact? And so we came up with our kind of, this is our foundation of the work that we're going to do. And so we have this acronym CAMP. And so we said, okay, well, we're campus. It's us, including all of you that are doing this work. And so our goals are whatever we're doing to build community. So whether it's one meeting, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a large meeting, we're trying to build community. We really want to pay attention to accomplishments. So this program has performance measures. We're measuring how many students you serve. We're measuring how many of those graduate from high school, how many go on to college, how many scholarships. So we are able to give some data that says this is what we've accomplished. Our overall mission for the Campus Compact is to help improve lives of citizens of Kentucky. And so the Compact actually does that through colleges and universities and their partners, which includes high schools, as the continuum of seeing students get through that whole education process. So that mission, you're serving that mission as well. And then one of our other goals is participation, so that everybody in our ecosystem gets to participate, so that we don't shut voices out, so that we have diversity, equity, those kind of things build that into our system. And that people get to be involved and share what they know, the skills and experiences that they have. So this is our grounding for the Compact, and this program, hard skills versus soft skills. So what we just did about listening and asking questions, which one is that? Soft skill. Soft skill. So teamwork, optimism, friendly attitude, reporting to work on time, all those things are soft skills. And the research shows that employers say, 75% of employers say that those are as important as the hard skills. 15% of the employers say that they're more important than the hard skills. So these are really important everywhere, but certainly with college and coaching. So the hard skills are things that you can kind of quantify. Did you read the first one? Yeah. Backing up a truck without hitting anything. Okay, that's the skill. That's something that you can learn how to do. Writing reports, computers, writing directions, etc. So this could be the advising arena that you're going to find yourself. So if a student wants to be a veterinarian, you're not going to steer them toward NKU because they don't have a veterinary program, right? Okay, so that's advising, that's telling facts, that's giving information.
According to all of us, one of the biggest soft skills that we're going to require is empathy. And I couldn't agree more. Being able to talk to the students, understand where they're coming from, not just sympathize, but really understand where they're coming from. The second most common thing I'm seeing up here is patience. You need to have the patience to talk to them, to help talk them through what they don't understand, to be able to guide them correctly on where they need to go. A lot of the other things that I see here are being trustworthy, being someone that they can approach, being positive, as well as time management, which is very important. Knowing when you can pull people from class, when to talk to them, how long to talk to them, how long before they're taking advantage of you being there. All things you want to keep in mind on when you're talking with your kids and working them through what they need to do. There's also a smattering of things like body language and, knowing who they are. That's important.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Randall. So when you take a break, you might just go up and kind of look at those notes and see what other people have put up there. And our other guest speaker is Ms. Mariah, and she's going to talk with us about the more hard skills, so kind of the advice section of the college coaching.
So it looks like when we thought about advice, we thought in terms of two major themes. One is all the softwares and programs that we'll need to be familiar with to give good advice. Things like Excel, Microsoft programs, college apps and fee waiver forms, FAFSA. Someone just said simply program knowledge, organized information. So I think in part of being effective with advice, we have to know how to use the technology. communication, responsibility, that ties into like event planning, are things legible, is our email correct? So the presentation side of also advice giving, that makes sense?
It does. Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. So the key to when to use soft and hard skills, the key to that is you. So you're the one that is going to be the one that's going to stop for a second and say, okay, in this situation, am I trying to help a student make their own decisions, or am I trying to give them information or a skill that they're going to need? And so it's really important to separate those out so we don't give advice where maybe it's not helpful for coaches or for students. So also, you being the key is for you to pay attention to your own personal growth and to the things that, gosh, I don't know, I must keep doing something, Meredith, because, oh, here it is, okay. So, use of self. So when I did my master's program in organization development, we had a whole course called Use of Self. We did a lot of those inventories like Myers-Briggs or Strength Finders, and you guys done some of those kind of things. So for you to know about yourself, what are your triggers? How can you stay calm if somebody is yelling at you, or if somebody comes in and is crying? How can you, be grounded yourself? So taking care of yourself and having your own practices for that. Also knowing what things you have a preconceived idea about. Maybe staying open is what's going to help the student. Maybe you think it should be this way, but maybe there's not really a reason that it has to be this particular way. So knowing what your own ideas are is really, really important. So you're the first most important tool in your coaching tool belt. After that, I'm going to go over 3 principles that we believe in Kentucky College coaches when you're working with students. So the first one is that the student is the expert of their own life. And that goes for all of you too. You are the expert of your own life. And so what we're saying, if we are telling somebody what they should do or how they should live their life, what we're really saying to them is, oh, you can't figure it out yourself. Maybe they're stuck. Maybe they need some help in figuring it out. But what our goal is to really come alongside them and give them the tools for them to figure it out themselves. And so we're going to talk a lot about principle number 2, which is asking questions. So that exercise we did early about asking a powerful question, questions are so important. Questions are often more important than the answer because it gets a person started thinking about, what do I really think about this? So also in those responses when we did this small group, when you were only supposed to ask, why does that matter to you, or tell me more, that gives the person, the speaker, the chance to think about what they think. So if I was talking with Cody, sorry, I pointed to you and I said Cody. If I was talking with Cody and he was talking about a struggle he was having in class, and I would say something, well, don't you think maybe you should not take that class next semester because it's really hard for you, maybe that's not the direction you should go. That's not helpful to him because he needs to think about that himself. So, ask more open-ended questions. Ask, if we had challenges in, that course before, or different things that gets him to talk rather than leading him in a certain direction. When there's emotion, don't automatically jump to you knowing what the emotion is. So if somebody's crying, they may not be sad, they may be angry. Some people cry when they're angry, they cry. So instead of saying, well, what are you angry about, or what are you sad about, you can just say, well, what are those tears about? Or what is that emotion about? So that they can keep talking about what's happening for them. So the powerful questions, ambiguous, anxiety-producing, they have no right answer. That's part of the soft skills area, right? That we don't have all the answers. And we certainly don't have the answers for another person's life. But that is that's their domain. And then the third principle, the third principle is that the problem is the problem and the person is not the problem. So if there's challenges at home, if there's grade problems, if there's challenges in class, if the person themselves is just having a struggle with making decisions, if you can kind of separate that person from the problem, maybe talk about the problem as it is, or kind of this is the problem, but not letting the student even think about themselves being the problem. I'm a bad student, or I'm a lazy student, or this kind of thing. But you can try to get it outside of them so that they don't identify with the problem. And even though you can help them in the advice section, we really don't want to try to help fix people. One thing is that people really don't need fixing, including ourselves. We have areas that we want to grow and we want to get better at and those kind of things. But saying that somebody needs fixed means that there's something ultimately wrong with them. And we don't want to have that approach with students. So these three principles are really more on the soft skills side. On the advice side, yes, we do need to say, no, don't go to NKU, you want to be a vet. Or, if you want to get into this program, you have this grade point average, how can we help you, increase that grade point average? Or not get your FAFSA by this time. Those things, absolutely, those are more concrete things, and it's appropriate to give advice. So you are the key to deciding when to use those, and that's probably, you use both of those, in 10 minutes with a student, because you have those all fold together. So we have some, thoughts over the years. People have told us, coaches have told us, these are some of the things, that you might talk about a student when you're first meeting a student. What do you talk with them about? You have lots of questions. You wouldn't use all of these, but, have you ever had a coach before? What are you expecting? What would you like to get out of it? What do you want to know about me? What's your family story about education? Just what kind of music do you like? So just connecting with people, just on a people level. Some of you people that have been coaches before, how do you start a conversation with a brand new core student? What are some of the things that you do?
I always like to ask them what their goals and what they would like to achieve.
Okay, that's a good question. Goals?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
What?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay. What else?
I like to talk about what their favorite subjects in school are, what their favorite hobbies are, and how maybe they'd like to integrate that when they get older, or if they do.
Extracurricular activities, and sometimes if they have a part-time job, talk about that.
Okay, that's good. A lot of them have part-time jobs. There's two papers here. What else? Anything else that you do when you start with a student?
Someone will ask me about the summer, when we get back. So how do you how it is? So what's the challenge, what's the fun thing? Just like it was.
What are the fun things you've done over the summer? That kind of thing. I'm passing out two papers here, so everybody gets two pieces of paper, just about questions. And one of the things Keith, do they have a place to share information like these, the Google Drive or?
Yeah, we use a Google Share with us.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that, sharing questions would be a good thing, because I just shared with you two pieces of paper about questions, and I had it started, I left on the printer, but I'll put it on that Google thing. Does everybody have it? Okay. So, I really encourage you to get comfortable with questions and get comfortable with silence and letting a student think, and not be feeling feeling like you have to provide the answer if they don't have it. Maybe ask it a different way, ask a different question, or say they'll come back to that later, or whatever. But I really think that getting comfortable with questions is really important.